for 10 years. He said that he would restore all those years. She bought her bird and she left them there. 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 All his feet, she left them there.
I am Sandra Gay Chapman, Sandy to my friends.
Sandy, and where are you from?
I'm from here, Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, so did you always live in Cleveland?
I was born here, raised here. I've lived in California for a time. I lived in Chicago for a little while. But yeah, this has been home.
Oh, what's California like? Because I've never been.
When I lived in San Diego, it was not like it is now. Actually, for news, there really wasn't news. It was kind of boring, but now it is a progressive city. There are a lot of people that look like me there. So back in the mid-'70s, there really wasn't a lot of black folks. So yeah.
And then you said you lived in Chicago for.
I lived in Chicago on an expense account when I worked for one of the telephone companies. I traveled back and forth there, and I love Chicago.
So if you had to choose between California, Chicago, oh wait, the 3 C's.
Yes.
Like, which would you stay here or would you go back to?
Because I've got friends there now, I don't know, I'm torn. I like Chicago. I love Cleveland. I've seen where it was and to where it's going now. We're the hottest city right now.
Right?
Per Forbes yesterday. So I like Cleveland. I like home. I like the weather, even though it snows and stuff. But I like the season. So yeah, Cleveland is home for me.
You like the weather?
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, if you're here a week, you can have all 4 seasons. You know, so I like the fall. I like this time just because you can dress. I'm this clothes person. So, yeah, I like it.
You said you were in California. Like, were you younger?
Oh, yeah, much younger. I just gotten out of high school and wanted to travel. I went there as a young bride. It was a different life, you know, first time really being away from Cleveland, but I enjoyed it. I went to Tijuana and did all the things that an 18, 19, 20-year-old would do, so I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, so you were a young bride.
Young bride.
Oh.
It didn't work out, but that's okay. You know, I did have and he's remarried and doing wonderful. And it was okay.
You went to the Institute of Music, and did you always know that you wanted to study music?
Yeah, I did. I started playing piano at 4, and it never got any better than that to me. Singing was always what I wanted to do. Being a performer is what I wanted to do. Actually, at one point when I was in school, it was opera. And I enjoyed it. I didn't finish, but it's interesting that people who know me, that's the first thing they say, Sandy, are you still singing? And yeah, I am. And I enjoy it. Playing the piano has just helped me more in my music venture. I'm not a great pianist. If you take the music away from me, I'm done. But that's a part of who I am. Music is who I am.
So you use music as a way of, you said release.
Yeah, if I'm sad, I sing. I'm a crier, so very emotional. You know, at church they call me the weeping willow. If you ever hear Danny say that, that's me, you know, because I'll get caught up in a song. So that's who I am.
Nice. So I have to ask this. Was there ever a time, because you said singing was your release, and whatever emotion you have, you sing. Was there ever a time where singing, or what was the time where singing couldn't do it, or it wasn't enough?
There was a deep hurt. Oh gosh, you asked me if I was going to need tissue. There was a deep hurt that I experienced, I'll say, within the past 5-6 years. And I didn't think I could sing anymore because the hurt was so deep. It was something, I was doing something that I loved, and it was taken away from me. Thinking about it now, thinking about it now, it still kind of hurts, but I made peace with the person that hurt me. Church hurt hurts worse than anything. And the past few years, I had that hurt, and I didn't think I could sing anymore. But I can now, you know. I still enjoy it. And you get over that hurt, you grow. And if you don't grow from these hurts, then you're stagnant. And as long as I knew God loved me and what I was doing was from my heart, then I was okay. It took me a minute, but I'm okay now.
Okay. So, so you felt like you couldn't sing anymore, and I understand the feeling of being hurt, especially by people who you think should have your back, or help you with the process, and for them to be the ones to hurt you. I wholeheartedly understand that.
Yeah.
My story in itself of that is interesting. But you're wearing the faith over fear shirt.
Yes.
And just listening to you with that, it's like, how did that faith or help you get through that situation? Especially because you said church hurts the most, and faith, church.
Yeah.
You know.
I had to realize that no matter what humans or your friends or, humans, what they say to you, you can't let it affect you. But of course, again, we will. But in the past 4 or 5 years, I've come to know that we're all human beings and we have flaws. The only perfect person or the only perfect being was Jesus. I ain't nowhere near Jesus, you know. So pulled up my big girl panties and came back, you know. It's different because I was in leadership, but then I'm okay because it doesn't matter what someone else has done, only what I do for Christ. And I know that's cliche, but there's the song, only what you do for Christ will last. I know why I sing. I know why I directed, and the feeling that I got was bringing people closer to God through music, through my voice, through my directing a choir. I miss it. I miss it a lot, but that's part of the whole journey. You know, in the midst of life, God comes in. He changes. No matter what, we want to do, God comes in and says, okay, I think you need this change. Life happens. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Wow. So, I was going to ask you a question, but you already answered it. What, if you could give one, because one of the quotes I have now up on the page is, become your greatest inspiration.
Because a lot of people say, oh, this person inspired me or that person inspired me, but I want you to be your greatest inspiration. So what's one thing that you would say to yourself, like watching this back and you get to watch this again a year from now, what is one thing, or what do you want to say to yourself that you know when you watch it back you can be inspired?
Through all the hurt, you can still find that the goodness in somebody or the goodness in the situation or whatever happened, you're better for it. You can use that as a stepping stone to the next journey, whatever path you're on. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you
You're welcome.
for being a part of this series. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for allowing me to do that.